What's going on, guys? Welcome to the No Excuses Podcast, episode 13. Guys, this episode is going to be sick, off the wall. Today, we're going to talk about being a hater and setting expectations. Guys, this is something huge, and can't wait to get into it and give you a piece of my mind. So, guys, when you think about being a hater, right, you're always thinking of someone who's putting out bad vibes, someone who's jealous, someone who hates the fact that you're succeeding and they're not, and they always got something negative or something shitty to say about it, right? And always trying to throw salt in the game. But this is not the hating that I'm talking about. The hating that I'm talking about is self-hating, okay? And it's not the self-hating that you're thinking. See, most people, when they think of self-hate, is they think of it in a negative way. But I'm thinking of self-hate in a positive way. So let me get into that. Guys, you should hate anything in your life that is not how you want it to be. If you are comfortable with anything in your life, okay, that's not how you really want it to be, then you're fucking up and you're never going to change. You're never going to grow. And you're always going to stay the same. And life is going to pass you by. And before you know it, you're going to fucking die and be like, shit, man, I wish I would have done this, that, the other. So let me talk about the self-hate. Let's just say you're fat. If you don't hate it, it doesn't fucking piss you off. It doesn't drive you crazy. It doesn't gross you out. Okay? Then you got this nasty freaking gut and your arms are flabby and your legs are full of cellulite and you're just like nasty looking. If you don't hate it, there's a big fucking problem. There's a huge problem because if you don't hate it, it's not going to make you uncomfortable. And if it's not going to make you uncomfortable, you're not going to change. You see, hate can fuel up good things in your life. When people usually hit rock bottom and they hate rock bottom so much because it hurts them so bad, it's what turns them to make a change. You see, if it doesn't hate you, if it doesn't cause hate and pain, then you cannot turn and return and make a change because you'll just be comfortable. And guys, comfort kills. Complacency kills. And the Marine base, guys, in Baghdad during the war, there used to be a big sign that when the soldiers would leave, it said complacency kills. The word complacency and comfort is the same thing. It's basically saying that you're not alert, you're okay with the situation, everything is under control. But what you don't understand, nothing is ever under control. Everything is in constant motion. Your whole life, your relationships, your friendships, your body, your business, it's either growing or dying. Nothing stays the same. Okay? Everything is constantly moving forward or backwards. So when I think of the word hate, I have so much hate in my body and in my brain for anything that doesn't go against it doesn't go in my way. I'll give you another example. I just came back from vacation. When I came, during vacation, we're eating desserts, and a lot of pasta and Italian food. And when I got back, we're stopping at all these different gas stations, like junk food. When I got back, I was up 10 pounds. And guys, you know me. I work out hard as fuck, 6-7 days a week. And it's like, I felt myself like getting like super thick, like chubby. I felt myself like being like slow. And I remember getting back home and I looked in the mirror and I was like, Yaniv, you look fucking disgusting. And to most people, I still looked good. But to me, who it matters the most, me, I felt disgusting. So just to justify that disgusting feeling, I stepped on the scale and I was up 10 pounds. And I was like, I called myself a fucking loser. I was like, bro, like, this is disgusting. Like, you better go fucking do something about it. So immediately I went to the gym and got a good workout in. And all week, I've been back now for a week. I've been fucking killing it. And guys, I'm back to my normal weight. Uh, I refuse to let myself go. And I say this because I hate the feeling of being fat. I hate the feeling of not looking good. I hate the feeling of being sluggish. I hate the feeling of being half-assed. Well, what else should you hate in your life? What about being fucking broke? You meet so many people in your life and they're mediocre and they're okay with it. They're okay just play video games all day. They're okay just working a basic job that's passing their time and never progressing forward. They're okay with just getting by month after month. And that comfort, okay, is keeping them complacent. It's keeping them in that place of not growing, the place that they hate. But because they are not willing to do anything about it, they stay there. And the only way you'll make a change is that when you go into your bank account and you're like, I fucking hate this. I hate the fact that I don't have money to do what I need to do, that I have to struggle with my bills, that I can't go out to eat dinner, that I can't drive the car that I want, that I can't, I want to put up a new fucking fan in my house. I can't afford it. Or I have a little emergency. I don't have any money for that. If you don't hate it, if it doesn't drive you batshit crazy, you gotta stay the same. You gotta have so much anger to fuel you up that creates a strong hate for this feeling that you're going through to make a change. Guys, use hate not to hate on others. Don't be that type of hater. Those guys are fucking douchebags. Be a hater on yourself whenever you are in a position that you don't want to be in. Aren't you tired of fucking being broke? Aren't you tired of making the excuses and living a half-assed life? Start hating it. It should be fucking bothering you. If it's not bothering you, then there's a major problem. You're gonna stay the same. And you're gonna end up being the other side of a hater where you're just hating on others. Like, man, how is he fucking successful? How is this? Oh, that person really has true hate for being broke, so they're doing something about it. Let's go to the next thing. What about marriages and relationships? How many people have I coached and still coach that are in bad marriages? And they're in those bad marriages for years, 10, 20, 30 years. And these people come and complain and vent to me and ask for my advice. And I'll give them my advice. And they'll say, yeah, that's good. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But then they never do it. And then I realized to myself, they don't really hate it. They don't hate their situation. Their situation is still comfortable for them. They're okay with it. I have one guy, it's like, I've said this in another podcast before, the guy, it sounds crazy, the guy loves getting blowjobs, all right? He loves getting blowjobs. His old lady won't give him a blowjob. You know what I mean? He wants to complain to me about it. I'm not giving him a fucking blowjob. She needs to give him the blowjob. But so I said, why don't you tell her? He's like, no, those days are over. And, she just won't do it. Well, okay, it doesn't bother you enough. Because maybe if it did bother you enough, if you actually hated the feeling, okay, of wanting to be intimate with your old lady and she wasn't, maybe you would make such a big fight and a fuss over it and do whatever you got to do to bring that intimacy back that she's going to want to make a change. It takes courage, guys. It takes courage to know that you hate your position in life. And it takes courage to do something about it. Sometimes it's going on an extreme diet and extreme workout program. Sometimes it's dropping bad friends. Sometimes it's changing your career, which is scary. You might change your career. Who knows what's going to happen? Sometimes it's even getting a divorce. Sometimes it's investing every energy and moment that you have to rebuild and rekindle that marriage or that relationship. It all takes courage. It all takes work. But no change is going to happen unless you hate your situation. As long as you just dislike it, you'll live with it and you'll stick with it. And guys, like I've said in previous podcasts, I've said all the time in many of my talks, I refuse to live a mediocre life. I refuse to be broke. I refuse to have a half-assed marriage. I refuse not to be jacked and ripped. I refuse not to have meaningful friendships and relationships. I refuse. I won't do it. Guys, like just being alive and not really living is not a life worth living to me, guys. Passing time does not count. Now, if you're in prison, there's nothing you can do. You still need to make the best out of it, right? Like, man, I hate this situation. I'm in prison. Well, guess what? God willing, when you get out, you hate that situation so bad that you will never make those same mistakes again. And you will never step a foot back into that prison. And guys, prison doesn't always have to be real bars in front of you. You could be imprisoned in a marriage. You could be in prison in your job. You could be in prison with a body that you cannot stand. When are you going to be able to say enough is enough, that I hate my situation so bad that I'm going to make a change? How many times I got people venting to me, and complaining about their friendships. Man, I put in all this effort towards this friendship, but this person doesn't reciprocate, doesn't put the same amount, she doesn't put the same amount, and they get all this resentment inside. So I'm like, why don't you say something? Tell so-and-so how you feel. Okay, and see if you can make a change. Most of the time, they won't say anything because they don't have the courage to, so it stays the same. Other times, they do say something, the person doesn't change, and they don't do anything about it. They don't cut off that relationship, so things stay the same. You must change for things to change. It's really that simple. But what is gonna go into your head and into your body that makes you gonna want to change? I was talking to this guy a few weeks ago at a party, and he says, "Man, Yaniv, every time I see you, I feel bad because like you're always like in shape, and you always have this positive mindset." And he's like, "I wish I had that." And he says to me, I couldn't believe he said this. He goes, "I don't know if I need something bad to happen to me. If I need to get a heart attack, or I need a divorce, or I need something bad." And I'm saying to myself, man, at least he's being honest, but his mindset is fucking completely out of line. It's idiotic. Like, why would you want to get a heart attack and then start working out? Why would you want to get a stroke and then start working out? Why would you want your wife to leave you or your husband to leave you and then start exercising? Why do you need to get evicted from your house to fucking get your shit together? Why do you need to be past due on your bills to fucking make a change? Why do you need to be embarrassed at the store that you don't have money to make a change? Why not fucking hate that situation already and do everything you can in your power to change your life, to pivot, to alter your route? Guys, you must hate this situation. Anytime you're comfortable with it, things will stay the same. I talk to, kids, and I see them wasting a lot of time on video games or stupid shit. And I say to guys, like, why you don't make a change? Like, I don't care. You don't care. Well, we're talking about your future. We're talking about your life. They don't have the mindset yet to understand how deep and how important this conversation is going. And they'll say they don't care, so they don't change. They spend hours and hours, days and days, weeks and weeks, and months doing the same shit. And time just keeps passing by. And before you know it, they're years behind. You have to hate your situation. Guys, when I was a kid, when we moved to the United States, we lived 6 people in one bedroom. You think we liked it? I remember the building that we lived at. There was a water plant by there, and it fucking stunk. It stunk so bad. Every morning you would open the door, and it would just smell like sewer. And I remember, like, all of us, we just fucking hated it. I remember my parents growing up. We were so fucking poor that, like, we didn't have money, for electricity. Sometimes we didn't have money for water. I would have to go to the building's water hose and freaking brush my teeth. I hated it. It was embarrassing. Or open up the fridge and there was barely any food or no food. Or always hearing my parents, fighting over money because things were so hard. I said, man, I'm never going to live like this. I got to find a way. No matter how hard I got to work, no matter how hard I got to study, I got to find a way so I don't live this way. So I have a better life. You must understand that those circumstances, those hard circumstances, fueled me up to be who I am today. Guys, everybody knows I'm a tough motherfucker. But what you don't know is that the reason I became a tough motherfucker even from the get-go, besides, my upbringing, is when I came to America, guys, I used to get bullied. I spoke no English, okay? And I was just like this little white boy, Jewish kid, in an all-black school, and they used to fucking bully me, right? And I said to myself, man, like, what do I got to do that I don't get bullied? And I used to fucking hate it. Used to cause me anxiety. Used to cause me pain, right? So I said, I know what I got to do. I got to get strong. So I started working out. As a little kid, I started working out, doing push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups. I started running. Started doing martial arts. More and more and more and more. That where no one could bully me anymore. You see, you must understand, I hated getting bullied. But instead of fucking sitting in my room crying and complaining about it, I had to fucking do something about it. And doing something about it was making myself a better, stronger, tougher person. And it's funny because those hard times when I got bullied, now today, I use everything I know to teach people so they don't get bullied also. But it's all because I hated that situation. When you're handed a bad card, okay, a bad hand, if you don't hate that bad hand, well, that's the hand you're gonna play. You're always gonna be a victim. You're always gonna be pointing fingers. You're always gonna be like, it is what it is. You're always gonna say it's your upbringing. It's your mom, it's your dad, it's your uncle who molested you. It's the school, everybody was black, everybody was white. The teacher didn't like me. You'd always have some fucking excuse. Instead of saying, man, I hate this fucking situation. How the fuck do I get out of it? How do I get out of this shitty neighborhood? What do I got to do to pass this guy's teacher so I don't have to see him, to pass this guy's class so I don't have to see this teacher anymore? You must hate your situation. You must look in the mirror and be sick and tired of being sick and tired. You must be grossed out with your situation. You must be grossed out with your body, grossed out with your bank account, grossed out with your mindset, grossed out with your relationships, grossed out with your marriage. You must be grossed out, like literally, like it makes you want to vomit. It has to hurt you so bad. You have to hate it so bad that it forces you to change and grow and become the person that you want to become. Guys, I think I got my point across with this, which now I want to bring it to part 2, which is limitations. I want to start with a story about 5 young men that I coach personally, and all really good kids, right? They're all in around 17, 18. And I'm talking to these kids, and they all look up to me. They all always ask me questions. I say, hey, you guys are graduating high school. What do you guys want to do? Well, one guy, hey, I want to be a mechanic, another guy an electrician, another guy welder. They all told me something like a car wash. They all told me like different labor jobs. And before I say anything, I want to tell you guys that I respect every fucking career you choose. If you want to be a fucking maintenance guy, you want to be a plumber, you want to be an electrician, you want to wash cars for a living, you want to be a heart surgeon, whatever the fuck it is you want to be, it doesn't matter. If you're willing to work your ass off and it's something that you want to do day in and day out, that you feel like that is your calling, I support it. Now that I did this disclaimer, I'm going to tell you how I feel. So as I'm talking to all these kids and they're telling me about their jobs, so I'm asking a little bit more like, well, why do you guys want to do that job? Well, college is bullshit. It's a waste of time. Just going to waste my money, on college. It's going to get debt. It's for the birds. We want to start working right away, and so on and so on. And I just flipped out on these kids. I go, how come none of you motherfuckers are sitting here when I'm talking to you about careers, what's something you want to do or be? Tell me that you want to be a fucking astronaut or a brain surgeon or a heart surgeon or fucking the next AI genius or the next freaking Wall Street king. How come you're only telling me these jobs? Do you really want to be a mechanic? Is that what you want? Or is that just what you're selling for? You see, if you're a kid and your whole life you loved working on cars, that's something that you want to do passionately, I'm all for you being a mechanic. And I believe that you'll make a lot of money being a mechanic. But do not be a mechanic because that's all you think you could ever be. Do not say, hey, I'm going to go to wash cars because that's the easiest route to start making money. Because you're being fucking short-sighted. Well, to be a doctor, it's 8 years of school and then another 4 years, this and that. And it's like, who cares? Well, nobody's a doctor in my family. I can never be a doctor. I'm not smart enough. Who the fuck said that? You guys do not understand the power that you have. Every human that is watching this podcast, you have the power to become anyone and anything you ever wanted to be. You don't understand that the will, the mindset, the discipline that you can have to create whatever life you want. Guys, I used to train a guy from Russia. His name was Sam, and he came to America with zero. Okay? He was a Russian Jew. He had nothing. He grew up with nothing. They were eating fucking potatoes and bread. Okay? That's all they had. But he had a dream that he wanted to become a doctor. Nobody in his family was ever a doctor. Nobody in his family ever went to college. Nobody in his family ever reached any profession like that. They all had like real simple jobs, making the bare minimum and just surviving. It's the whole history of his life. But he said, man, I want to be a fucking high-level doctor. He went to high school. He graduated. He said, I want to go to college. He couldn't afford a nice university. So he went to a normal 2-year basic school. Then from there, he transferred to a big university and completed his degree. And then from there, he went to medical school. He took out loans. He had no money. He took up major loans. And then from there, he said, I want to specialize. I want to be an ICU pulmonary doctor and specialize in that. And then he even got more education and got more loans. And eventually, guys, this guy became the head of the hospital, the top fucking doctor, the top of the top. He broke the family curse. He didn't put no limitations. And what I want to tell you is that his children now also, they're thinking, hey, maybe we're going to become doctors soon. And not that, again, guys, a doctor is better than a mechanic. But it is harder to get there. Okay? It is harder to get there. It does take more education. It does take more delayed gratification. So let's not get it twisted. You can get a fucking black belt in Taekwondo in 2 years, or you can try to get a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is average 10 years. Okay? If all you love is Taekwondo, then fine, do it. If all you love is being fucking, whatever trade that you're looking for, then do it. But don't you fucking dare limit yourself. Go get what you want, man. Don't worry about the prize right now. Don't worry about making money just right now. Go out there and get what you want. And guys, I'm focusing on career, but this is with everything. You want a nice body. Like, naturally in my family, everybody's fat, so I'm fat too. You're copying out, my friend. You're fucking copying out. You're being okay. Again, you don't hate your situation. You're okay just getting by. You're okay having a half-assed body. This goes to the same thing. You have limiting beliefs. You believe this is all you deserve. This is all that you can be. And you're fucking wrong. I've turned fat motherfuckers into ripped motherfuckers. I've turned people with broke mindset to fucking prosperous mindsets. Okay? You don't understand how much potential you have. But are you willing to take action? Do you have the courage to take action? You have this limiting belief that because now that you're married and you guys are fucking miles apart, that's just, it is what it is, and you guys just stick with it. Well, I'm telling you, you're wrong. I'm telling you, a marriage can be loving, can be thriving, can be exciting, can be fulfilling. But it takes a lot of fucking work. It takes a lot of commitment. It's easy to just keep things the same. I'm telling you that if you want to fucking change and if you want a good life, you can do it. You can have anything you ever wanted. Stop with the negative talk. Stop with limiting yourself and start opening your mind. I was talking to a guy who always wanted a Lamborghini. He said to me, Yaniv, I went and I rented a Lamborghini. The Lamborghini cost me $3,000 a day. I rented it for 2 days. He's like, I had to feel what it's like driving a Lamborghini. And he goes, the only way I could manifest getting a Lamborghini was actually to get in one and drive it and feel what it's like. And he goes, the feeling that I got, he goes, was unbelievable. He goes, like, I had such a powerful feeling. It made me feel a certain way. He's like, now I know what this feels like. Now I'm going to work on getting it. So even though it cost him $6,000, which is a horrible investment, right? To drive a car for fucking 2 days, it inspired him to manifest his dream into reality. And the guy today drives a fucking new Lamborghini. He made it happen. You see, if you don't believe, if you don't feel that you can ever be where you want to be, then you're never going to be there. Guys, like, you have to tell the universe what you want and mean it and follow it with action, with good daily habits, with personal development, with becoming the person who belongs in the Lamborghini, becoming the person who belongs having nice things, becoming the person who belongs in having a good marriage and having a nice body. You cannot be the person who has a nice body eating fucking McDonald's. You can't be the person to be successful freaking sleeping in all day, watching Netflix. You cannot be the person who's a Debbie Downer expecting to have a clear mindset. Guys, it all starts in your head. Let's change the way we think. Let's hate our situation. Let's apply a game plan and create a blueprint on how to make a change. And guys, this is where people like me come in. I give you guys all this free advice, sincerely out of my heart. I get paid $0 to do this. I do this all to put good information out in the community to see other people prosper. But if you need more help, okay, on leveling up, That's when you DM me and you tell me your situation and I help you level up. We create a game plan. We create a custom program, a custom workout program, custom nutrition program, a custom life program to get you to where you need to be. It's never going to be easy, but I promise you it's going to be worth it. You must understand, guys, that time will pass by for all of us. One day we will all be buried. One day we'll all pass by. But your time while you're here, okay, could be completely different. You can live life broke, depressed, shitty relationships, sexless marriage, being sick, doctor's offices, and being depressed, or you can live a life of thriving, living a life of prosperity, living a life of love, living a life of health, living a life of fitness, living a life of good, clear mindset. It's up to you what you want. Guys, please, subscribe, share, spread the word. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Go get it. Usa.